What's up, everybody? Welcome back to 2nd Street. I hope you're all having a very good day today. Here we are on Friday, Black Friday, right? Or are we allowed to call it that these days? I honestly don't know. I'm kidding. I hope you're all having a very good day today. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving if you are in America and you celebrate Thanksgiving. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. If not, I hope you enjoyed the day off, because chances are you probably had the day off. A lot of places, aren't open. And many places are. I remember when I used to work for the world's largest retailer, and we used to have to go in, on Thanksgiving. Nobody gets Thanksgiving off. Everybody has to work, and then you just all these different things, or on Black Friday, and just these different holidays and things like that, where you're having to work. Chances are you're probably putting in overtime, and you know what? You don't have to do overtime. Well, of course, overtime's not mandatory, but chances are chances are you probably want the overtime money. You're like, yeah, screw it. But you have to work through all these holidays, Christmas season, and all this stuff. And you know what? I know when I used to work there, and even still, see a lot of people that gripe about that. They gripe about it. And I've got to say, for one, obviously we just got past Thanksgiving, and hey, be thankful that you have a job, especially this year. But also, not only that, just think about, you got the job, and that's all good. Like, I used to like working those holidays. When it was all busy and crazy like that, I used to love it. It was great because, well, for one, the position that I used to work in, I used to get to kind of go around and do pretty much anything. Do all kinds of stuff, Be up on a register. Next thing you know, I'm doing carryouts. Next thing you know, I'm pushing in baskets. Next thing you know, I'm working in electronics. Next thing you know, I'm over here doing this. I'm doing that. All kinds of stuff. I loved it. It was great. It was great. But sometimes what it is sometimes what it is, and I get it, maybe you've been busting your butt at that job for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, maybe more. It gets old. I get it. But you know what? Just don't get tired of that grind, man. I love it. I love it. But I understand if, you get tired of the stuff. I understand how people can get, especially around the holidays, too. It's all good. It's all good. But the thing is, ultimately, if you've been doing it that long, you know what? Like, here's the thing, is no matter what, whether you've been doing it for 5, 10, 20 years, just maybe change your perspective on it, Just a little thought. Instead of waking up and going, oh, God, I gotta work. Wake up and be like, hey man, I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna kill it. We're gonna have a good day. We're gonna get done. You know, just have a plan for your day. You know what I mean? Be ready to start it. Be ready to go out there and kill it. Nail it. That's what you gotta do. Anyway, got this. Look at this, guys. Look at all these. Got this big old. Yeah, that's. I know. Ain't gonna be many like that anymore. But that's what you gotta do, you know? Be ready to go. You know you've got to wake up and go to that job every day anyway. Just be ready for it. We're going to talk about some of these comics. Going to get here into the live chats and say what's up to everybody. Let me know if you watched The Mandalorian down in the chats. If you watched The Mandalorian, man. What was it? What were we at here? Episode 5, right? Ooh, and wasn't it good? It was, man. I thought it was really good. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comments below. Please, no spoilers. We're not going to talk much about it. I'll tell you, I thought the show was really great. Let's see who all we have here. It looks like we've got some very great people. We've got some of the Myrtle Maniacs here. We've got XR Coon. How are you doing? Lord Veedo, what? My man. What is that? Lord Veedo, Mike Porter. Time to make the donuts for Grogu. Yeah, all right. For Grogu, I am. All right, this is the way. May the Force be with you. Absolutely. Nice, Mike. Yeah. Grogu. And that's it. You know, that's... Disney went and shot themselves in the foot. Yeah. You don't give it a name. Not this soon. You don't give it a name this soon. The emotional attachment is already there. You play it out a little longer. You almost made it to the end of the season without doing it. Yeah. Good stuff though. Good stuff. Yeah, ReeferMan, what is up, my man? How are you doing? Let's see. Mike Porter says, now that we have the new Mandalorian episode, everyone should be happy, positive, and not act in a toxic way. Oh, wait a minute. It's the real world. Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's going to be people out there like, oh, yeah. That was so good. Dave Filoni, come on. The guy is so good. Now, you know, there's always going to be somebody not happy with it. And you know what? That's okay. That's perfectly fine. Because it's just like anything else. Not everything out there everybody is going to enjoy. I, for one, I'm liking it. I like what they've been doing with The Mandalorian. I think what Jon Favreau has been doing with the Mandalorian series has been absolutely great. And you know what's funny is at the end of every episode, you know how like it's all, you know, the credits start rolling, right as I guess you could say the music is hitting that crescendo, and it switches down, and you see it shows you that you know what I'm talking. You know what does it for you too, and you see Jon Favreau standing there, looking on it, and you see it's all shadowy. Now, every time that happens, I sit there and because like, look, I have a huge love and appreciation for Jon Favreau in the first place, okay? But every time I see that shot, I'm sitting there thinking like, damn, could you imagine being one of the people being able to be working on that set, walking in, seeing Jon Favreau and thinking, you know, that's what I think. It's Jon Favreau, like, fuck yeah. He's in control of it, man. And he looks inspired. And I'm sure he's there, inspiring others to want to do great work. You know? That's what I think when I see that picture every time. I'm just like, hell yeah. You know, everybody, like, I know, I look at that picture as a fan, and I'm like, thinking, like, you're making us proud, Jon. You're making us proud. Damn, I'm about to cry here. But yeah, seriously, I think he's doing a good job. Dave Filoni did a good job. Nailed it on the episode. Really good stuff. Rosario Dawson. I like Rosario Dawson in the first place. You don't have to convince me. You don't have to convince me. All right. Ahsoka. I don't really know the character that much. I mean, like I played some games with her in it and shit. You know, like I played that. Like, yeah, I know the character there. Seen a couple of the episodes of, you know what show that is, but not a whole lot. But I thought she really nailed the essence of this character. And you know what? Michael fucking Bien, man. Dude. I seen him. I seen him. I saint him in the scene. I saint him. I could tell the second like he walked like the second he walked on screen, I was like, oh, I was like, fucking Michael Bien, yes. I see what you're doing, Jon Favreau. I see what they're doing over here with the Mandalorian. You know what they're doing with the Mandalorian, right? They're pulling on all the member berries. You know, they are, while bringing in new ones. You know what I mean? They're bringing in new, you know, they are. They're tugging on the member berries, but they're also bringing in new faces. That's the thing, though, is we're getting a lot of like the we're getting a lot of like older looking sets, you know, from like original from the OG trilogy, original sets that look very much like that with a blend of the new sequel trilogy kind of stuff. Getting a little blend of both there. On the sets, right? It has that feeling. And they're bringing in, you know, they're bringing in a lot of these characters that have basically existed in other areas of the Star Wars lore, if you will, like in the cartoons and stuff, and bringing that in, which has never really been, it hasn't really been in the movies, because really anything that's been in the movies would be mostly the movies crossing over, that is the crossover from the movies into the cartoon, you know what I mean, and not the other way around. And this is where they finally did that, and it's great seeing that. But so they're kind of taking, and they're really just taking everything and slowly mixing it all in, right? They're slowly mixing it all in. And I know people are, you know, they're picking and choosing, and I know people out there are gonna be like, oh yeah, they want to pick and choose what they're gonna use from, you know, the Star Wars. Hey, I get the argument. Hey, but here, look, they've got to do something. I think what they're doing is absolutely beautiful. Seeing it all come to life, and all of these things blending and mixing, and just like they're doing a good job with these productions, with these shows. Now, the one thing I will say that I noticed, certainly the biggest downfall of this show is you see where there are scenes where they're there, you know, they're supposed to be there in this town walking around, everything is supposed to be outdoors. You can really tell that it's shot on set. You can tell none of it was shot outdoors. You could just tell, right? And to me, it doesn't take me out of it, but it's something that for me as a film fan is really, I notice that, you know what I mean, where, you know, in a lot of films, you know, they might do that too, where you don't really notice it as much because maybe the levels of production are a little bit higher, and they're not trying to it's a much different thing doing these shows than it is doing a movie. But I don't know, I'm telling you, I'm still waiting for the MCU, because that bar is going to be a lot higher. It's got to be a lot higher, because that is the crossover. The whole purpose is the crossover for these shows, where the Mandalorian is different, where it's taking in, it's blending them all. So I love it. I love everything that they're doing with the show, with the series. This episode is absolutely great. I'm telling you. But that's what they're doing. They're bringing in the member berries, because they're bringing in like the old sets, kind of bringing in a lot of the old stuff, some of the older stories, some of that kind of lore, mixing it with the new, and they're bringing in these actors into all of these roles, even the small parts that even get people like my age who are sitting there like, oh, dude, like, you got Michael fucking Bien in this, right? You know, you're sitting there, you got your Bill Burr, right? You got your Gina Carano, you got your Carl Weathers, you got your Nick Nolte's, you got your Richard Simmons, and it's great. So, you know, I mean, what they're doing is they're using a lot of that older stuff, and they're bringing in some of the newer stuff too, right? and they're just bringing in all like they're slowly bringing it out. Like that's the thing I noticed they're doing is, and that's why I say they're blending everything. They're taking a lot like the elements of like the old stuff with the new movies, and then they're bringing in these older actors that people like me are know and are familiar with, and that when we see on screen, we're like, oh yeah, yeah. Like any minute now, we're gonna get Michael Ironside. You know what I'm saying? That's like that's. Are we going there? Are we going there? Because you even got to think. You got ooh. You know what I'm talking about too. Oh man, he talks. Oh man, why am I? Why can't I remember his name all of a sudden? I can't remember his name all of a sudden. Yeah, he was in Jack Reacher. With his voice, dude, he's great. He's great. You know what I mean? They're doing a good job. But we're gonna get into some comic books now. Let me know what you guys thought about The Mandalorian. I'm not gonna talk spoilers. I thought the episode was great. I thought what they're doing is good. The level of production continues to be really good. I still do say though that some of those things, just like I said, that like just that stuff where you can tell they're on set, not actually outdoors. It kind of gets to me, but not so much that I don't like the show. All right, but that's really about it. But they're just doing beautiful work, beautiful work, beautiful work. Getting me hiked up, psyched up, ready for wilding, standing in a crowd of girls like an island. See the one I want? I say, come here, cutie. I whip her around and then I work that booty, work the body, work the body. Slow down, girl. About to hurt somebody. Totally wasn't listening to Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, not much. Happy Black Friday. That's a lot of comics. Huge bunch. Yeah, absolutely, man. Mando was dope. Yeah, the Citizen. I mean, Jedi, right? yeah. Good stuff, man. Beautiful episode. That's all I got to say about that. Should have been named Yiddle, damn it. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. See. Oh, I get it. I almost made that the thumbnail. I wanted to go find Fight Club. In Fight Club, we don't have a name. But in death, we have a name. That's what I wanted the thumbnail to be. His name is Grogu. That's what I wanted it to be. Grogu. His name is Grogu. Anyway, if you've seen Fight Club, you'll know. Hey. Anyway, yeah. Finally, those idiot casuals can stop saying Baby Yoda. Yeah, right? What's wrong with saying Baby Yoda? You don't like us saying Baby Yoda? I like Baby Yoda. It was a mistake, though. They shouldn't have revealed the name. They should have done it at the very end of the season. That's it, if you ask me. They should have done it at the very end of the season. Maybe that's like the cliffhanger. Oh, his name's Grogu. Oh, shit! Maybe like they start telling like over the next couple of episodes after, you know, after this, instead of saying his name, they start telling all these legends and everything of Grogu, and then you know, and then all of a sudden, I'm kidding. yeah. Oh man, I'm sad that there's someone toxic in it. I'm sad that there's someone toxic in our community. Although he hasn't been apart for a month. I know not everyone knows what I'm talking about. But if you ever apologize and make a video of it, really apologize. Yeah, and you know, Mike, that was something else I actually wanted to talk about as well. And here's the thing: is yes, there is somebody out there in our nerd community. This guy named Danny. All right, I'm gonna say his name. I don't care. I'm not bashful about it. But the thing is like he got in some. And here's the thing: we're not all supposed to agree. The beautiful thing about the world is that we're not all the same, and that we have different viewpoints. It's one of the beautiful things about the world. But he got in some altercations with another member of the nerd community, another person that we all love too, and they just had just some really bad interactions. And then, you know, he went just some really unsavory things were said. Now, I think a lot of these things are taken, you know what, like, sometimes people are broken, you know, they don't really know. They're disillusioned. People have been hurt. People, there are other people that are easily persuaded. You know, all kinds of different things out there. You know, you got to be careful. You know, like, and that's one thing I was talking about, like, the other day on a stream is know thyself, right? You got to know yourself. You got to know who you are and be secure in your being. Like, this is something important, especially when it comes to online culture. This is why, you know, like, children shouldn't be on social media. If they're interacting with, like, my kids get on Zoom and they're interacting with their cousins. You know, they do that. You know, like, some of their classmates, you know, after class are doing that. But, like, things like the Facebook and all that stuff. But there's plenty of people who are adults and beyond that, you know, that don't really know. Maybe they don't have a better worldview, or, you know, they're just they're looking they their outlook is warped, right? And I think most people are pretty forgiving about things, and that's the thing is, we all want people to get better, and that's one of the things I definitely I definitely want of this person. And the thing that's going on, they said, look, this person issues an apology, Danny. You issue an apology for some things that you said, and even another member of the community said something that, you know, you got to say it to the right people. It's not us who owe an apology. Like, we're forgiving. We'll forgive you. Like, we're accepting of the fact that maybe you said something stupid. You made a mistake. That's okay. We all make mistakes, right? We all change our mind. We all grow. That's an important thing in life. That's the beauty about forgiveness, and, you know, the beauty about asking for forgiveness and actually making apologies. But the thing is, you have to do it, and the thing is, you have to look at yourself, and you have to heal yourself, and you got, like, chances are you might have to seek professional help, especially if you're already not good at looking inwards at yourself. Very important, very important. And here's the thing, Danny, if you're out there listening, we're all willing to forgive you. It's okay, but you've got to work on yourself and realize the things that you're thinking and saying are wrong. Your process is broken somewhere in there. And I think anybody's willing to forgive all that, because believe me, we all understand. You know, maybe the point of view, your perspective, whatever is messed up. It's broken. Your compass. You gotta find your true north, man. You gotta find your true north. So yeah, absolutely. Look at yourself. Fix yourself. It's okay. We'll be here. Completely willing to forgive and accept any apologies, but you got to look at these things the right way, because what you're doing, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. Like I said, it's okay. Think, grow, learn, grow. Pretty simple. Do it. We're all willing to forgive, and that's the beauty. That's the beauty about humans. Most people are very forgiving, especially when you haven't really done anything too bad. You've only said some stupid things, and we've all certainly done that before. So, moving on. Let's get in here and see what else we have to say. Miss Exine's voice, at least, will get her in the Rebel sequel. Yeah, I think Mandalorian, Rebel sequel, and the spinoffs will have a common thread that will solve in the 2023 Taika movie. You mean like maybe they have what's that word? Connective tissue. Oh, I'm True Skills. How are you doing, my brother? I was watching some of your videos the other day, man. You're really enjoying that Thor, man. I think Thor is good too. I'm just not a big Kate's fan, and I'm not really a big Thor fan. I'm not really big on Thor, but Kate's doing a good job on that one, man. I can tell you're really enjoying that. Proud of Star Wars right now because you get the OG flavor, animation flavor, Western flavor, even a new flavor, probably will connecting everything. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. His name is that dude from that movie. Yeah. Grogu's growing. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Have you ever seen a fan base so excited? I woke up at 3 a.m. to watch it myself. Then went to other watch parties, and Theory had 20K and Dinner Nerds had 2K at about 4 or 5 in the morning. Nice. Nice. Hell yeah. So for me, that's like way early in the morning. I was sleeping. Took a lot of effort not to say Grogu when it was spoiled for me. I kept almost accidentally saying Grogu, then had to correct to the child. Yeah. Yeah. It is what it is. Is that really a spoiler? I mean, you find out his name. You find out so much in this episode, and like me, as it kind of goes on, it's like none of it really seems spoiler. I mean, what like? Because there's nothing to spoil. Because we don't really know anything. Like nothing was like truly revealed in this episode. His name, woo! We knew he had a name. Was it that big a deal? Ahsoka! Oh my god! We knew she was coming. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sad because I was the first guest of his Twitch, and I like the other guy too a lot. This hurts me. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, 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 absolutely. Took a lot of effort. Oh, sorry, skipped up on me. Just got done watching the newest Mandalorian episode. It sucks. Disney blows. There we go, Mike. Like what were you saying earlier, Mike? Oh man. But yeah, absolutely, Mike. I hear you, man. I hear you. Social media where adults act like kids. Yeah. Travis Adams, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a very good day today. What people make mistakes didn't. Yeah, right. During his video, we wanted to empathize with him other than apologize. Moral of the story: you don't have to agree with somebody to get along with somebody. Absolutely, and that's the beauty of it. Is like the things we don't agree on. Those are the things. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of what makes us all individuals, and those are the things that are supposed to bring us together, not divide us. I mean, it's the very fact that those things we're divided on is what's supposed to bring us together for the conversation, to see what I like about it, to see what you don't like about it, and talk about it and be nerds. Absolutely. Pew pew. Two Gun Pedro. What did you miss? Nothing. We're just talking about the Mandalorian for the most part so far. Getting ready to talk about some comic books here in a minute. You're gonna like some of these. You're gonna like some of these, Two Gun. I know. I think it gets worse for every single episode. Damn, Wookie. Maybe it ain't for you. I know. Like, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Is I like even like I was making like some people take stuff seriously. I like to joke. I like to joke. But Wes from Thinking Critical, they did this video on the Ten of Swords the other day, and they were all like, they were all mad and everything. I got there. I left a comment. I'm joking. But I said, and you can't really tell text through all that stuff. And he responded. I let him know I was kidding. But anyway, I was like, they say that insanity is when you do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. But I would argue that if you're doing the same thing over and over again, getting that same result, maybe it's not you're insane. Maybe you're just the R word. Oh man, Wookie knows the other week, man. The other week he got me started, man. That was good. Yeah, no, but yeah, like seriously though, like Wookie, like if it gets worse for you every single episode, why keep watching? I want to know. I just want to know. I mean, is it so you have something to bitch about? Which is fine. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Hell, believe me, people do that all the time. People do that here on YouTube. They sit there and they watch YouTubers, people they don't like, so they have something to bitch about. Oh man. Yeah, the girl fight was lame. The girl fight was lame. Well, and here's part of it too. Part of that Wookiee, I'll attest to this, is the fact, just like I said about some of the other episodes, is the fact that a lot of these people are they're newer directors. They're not used to doing movies and stuff like that, and maybe they're not used to directing action, directing fight scenes. You know, I think that's something that's important when it comes to those kinds of things. You got to have somebody, a good choreographer there to do all of that. The right people doing all of that work. It's not easy work, and you can tell here that's kind of where they're at. With like the action, and things like that, is the fact that it is like that, it's not that level. So I get that. With that, with regards to some of those kinds of things, with that, like the hand-to-hand combat, like, you know, all the laser swords and stuff. Yeah, if you're gonna apologize, don't defend your stance. Realize that that in every point you're wrong, and you won't do it again. Never wish ill on anyone. Yeah, absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. Star Wars has been for me for 40 years. Disney needs to do better. This is not my fault. Absolutely, it's not, Wookie. Absolutely, it's not. Oh, it's not much of a combo if you agree on everything. Yeah, absolutely. For a show, to me, it's amazing the stuff they pull off. Plus, we come together here because we all love the show through thick and thin. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, Travis Adams, and that's one of the things. Like, I think the series is good. I think they're doing a good job of taking all of the things and blending it all together. You know, they're giving everybody a little bit of everything. And here's the thing: is so far with, like, you know, like I said, they're kind of taking all the old and the new and starting to blend it together. Here's the thing: is, like, so far, haven't really seen them take any like the bad, you know, the bad new stuff, right? The bad new stuff. But but you know, that's if you ask me. That's if you ask me. Because believe me, I certainly have my criticisms of the sequel trilogy and stuff like that. Plenty of it isn't good. You know, plenty of it isn't good. Plenty of it I don't like. Some of it I do like. Rondal Dagger. Oh, was that her? What's her name? Yeah. Doing the same thing over and over again means you're consistent. Well, depending on it does depend on what we're talking about here, but you got a point there, Pedro. Practice makes perfect. I like the fight. Slow isn't bad. Yeah, and to me, I think the thing is, like, for me, like I said, even some of the action is like a little stiff. A lot of it just seems a little stiff, and that's one of the things. Like I said, you could tell some of these directors aren't used to directing, like Filoni, live action. He's not used to directing live action, and like a fight scene like that, a gunfight scene, that's completely different, but still something you got to be good and tactical at. But the actual fight scenes, the hand-to-hand combat, absolutely. I mean, they need improvement in that department. But again, it's not big production. I mean, does it necessarily need to be that? I don't think so. Only because these battles that we're getting so far aren't the epic fight that we're looking for. You know what I mean? They're not the epic battle that we're looking for. I'll tell you why. My mother, a devout Christian, saw the temptation of Christ before she said they were going to talk about her religion in a blasphemous way. It was her duty to witness it. Feel the same way about Star Wars. Oh, yeah. I hear you, Wookie. It's all good. Like I said, not everything is going to be for everybody. You know what I mean? Obviously, you love the original trilogy. I grew up on the original trilogy. I love the original trilogy, right? I feel you. Louis the 13th, thank you so much for being here. What's the R word? Oh, yeah, absolutely, Mike. Yeah, a great story, and yeah, absolutely. But anyway, guys, like I said, I thought the episode was pretty good. The season going good. We got 3 episodes left, right? Aren't they only doing 8 again? 3 episodes left. Woo, man, we're in for one hell of a ride these last 3 episodes, right? But I just want to say again, Rosario Dawson, Michael fucking Bien. Yes. Yeah. Shame that he died, but you know. Ahsoka should have whooped her faster and shouldn't have been disarmed. Huge stack myself, says Wolf Warner. Hell yeah, bro. Dude, like, look. Look at these. That's, yeah. I think it was 21. Yeah, I could be a little hurt. Nah, you're good, Wookie. But yeah, guys, let's get into some of these real quick. I'm going to talk about some of these guys. I Walk with Monsters. I think I talked a little bit about this on Wednesday. Dude, this book is friggin' great. I love this book. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. This character right here, we see the book opens up. She's tied and bound up. And there's this guy who's there getting ready to presumably have his way with her. He's getting ready to, yeah. Looks like he's getting ready to do. Oh, man, what? Uh-oh. Is this thing still on? Everything just went down on me here. Everything just went down on. Let me see it. Let me see it. Let me see if this thing is still live. All right. Okay, it is. All right. All right, we're good. I'm not sure what happened. All of a sudden, my browser just. Okay, it was just my browser went down. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, yeah, it was just. Where's my chat? I need my chatses. I need my chat back. I need my chat back. Where's my chat? That's what I need. There we go. There we go. Sorry guys. I couldn't see the chat and it messed me up. But yeah, I Walk with Monsters. Great stuff because this character right here, like I said, she's bound and everything. You can tell this guy's probably getting ready to do some heinous crimes. And all of a sudden in walks this monster and fucking like mauls him. Dude, you know what? You're going to write a book. You're going to write a book about people going out there and hunting down and exacting, bringing down righteous justice on pedophiles and people who prey on children. You've got me every fucking time, bro. I love this book. Issue number 1. You got me. You got me. This. Love it. Love it. Damn good book. Another one on Nightfall. Vault's Nightfall, man. They're this is where they're doing all their horror stuff. Dude, this book right here, I'm really digging it. I'm really digging the autumnal. The autumnal. I like this book as well. What's happening in this book is this woman had got this notification that her mother had died and she was being left the house. She inherited the house. So she goes back to Comfort Notch, this town where she grew up at when she was little. She hasn't been there for a long time. And she goes there. It's a horror book and there's some crazy things going on here. In this little town. She gets there, but you could tell she's been in abusive relationships. She's got a kid. She's been on drugs. Just like the whole 9 yards. Like she's a messed up person going to this like little small quaint town, right? Very good stuff going on. Very cool stuff going on in the autumnal. Loving it. Loving it. And then, of course, the plot. Issue number 7 came out this week, guys. Loving this series as well. This is the penultimate issue. Issue number 8 comes out next month. I think it comes out next month in December. And man, I'm telling you, loving this series again. Another book on their Nightfall series, which is what their horror label. Very, very good stuff, man. Very, very good stuff. The plot, one of my favorites. And then here we've got Bleed Them Dry, issue number 5. I'm not really into vampires, but I do like ninjas, right? And here we're getting ninjas, vampires, kind of like Blade, but this is like almost like this. Imagine if you took like Blade and mixed it with like Spider-Man 2099, but you're in like 3099, and yeah, no. But that's kind of what we got going on here. A little vampire story taking place in this dystopian type future in which everybody is living in this in this little town, and it's all like. It's pretty good book. And like I said, I'm not really into the vampire stuff, but this book has been pretty decent so far. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. See, Travis Adams says, "Hey, what do you think of those Walmart comics? Which ones? Which Walmart comics? Travis Adams, like, they had. Are you talking about? They had like Bass Reeves in those ones, like those ones." Park Outdoors, thank you so much for being here. Says, I'm thinking about getting into some Dark Horse Legends comics. Oh, nice, nice. Park Outdoors. Yeah, Dark Horse. I'm not sure. Is that like, are those like some of the older ones, or is that something that they're doing now? Um, as far as like the what is it the on the Dark Horse exactly, the Legends ones that you're talking about? I'm not really for sure. Um, yeah, Wolf approved. I walk with monsters, absolutely, absolutely. Landon TLB, thank you so much for being here. But Travis Adams, if you're talking about, okay, yeah, I only got to read the first issues on those, and I thought they were all pretty decent. I thought they were all pretty decent reads. Bass Reeves, issue number 1 was pretty good. The Futurist was one that kind of like the art in it is what kind of threw me off. The story itself was kind of intriguing. It was very intriguing. What was the other one? Red Rooster. Loved it. I thought that was a pretty good book. Nice little like superhero kind of book. And then Nora's Saga. More of a YA tale. Very interesting. It kind of reminded me of like reading maybe like almost like an Aftershock comic, almost like something I would read on like Aftershock comics, or maybe like a Dark Horse comics. You know, Dark Horse does. I think it's Dark Horse does some of those like that as well. Because I think that's who does Stranger Things. I think they do like the Stranger Things stuff, but very good. Right here, Machine Girl and the Space Invaders. This is basically a second volume of Machine Girl that came out last year. I think it was last year. It was a 4-issue miniseries. I got through done reading this one. This one was a pretty good book. Brought you back into the world of Machine Girl. And here's the thing: if you didn't read the first series, look at this title page, man. Look. Hey, 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 Marvel. Hey, Marvel, listen up. You're gonna do those hideous 2-page X-Men spreads, those title pages with all the credits and everything on there. Just all blank white. Okay, they got like little pictures in the back. Like, look, this is like just here. Look, I'll gripe a lot less if you did that. But what they did here, the beginning was they gave you a nice little introduction to a lot of the main characters for this story and everything in here. Kind of get you caught up with everything that happened in volume 1, which you can find. I think you can even find the volume 1 at your should be able to find it at your local comic book shop or have them order it in. I thought Machine Girl and the Space Invaders, definitely a very good book. I thought it was a pretty good book. No complaints there with that. Image Comics, Department of Truth. This comic book right here, everybody seems to think is about conspiracy theories, right? It's a decent book. I'll probably go through the first 5 issues on this one. It's a pretty decent book, but it's not about conspiracy theories. This book isn't really about conspiracy theories. I mean, it involves them, but it's really more about cancel culture and confirmation bias. That's really what it's about. This agency out there is basically using confirmation bias to make things happen, true or not, or conspiracy theory or not. And yeah. Anyway, pretty decent series though. It's a pretty good book by James Tynion. The Scumbag on Image Comics. Again, probably only going through the first 5 issues on this one. It's decent. It's kind of funny, but you know, like, I'll be honest with you. Myrtle read that shit and he was pissed. Myrtle read Scumbag issue number 1 and he was mad. I told him not to rip the comic book. I told him not to rip the comic book. But Myrtle was pissed. Myrtle wasn't having it. Yeah. There were 4. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. I can never find comics at my Walmart. You know, because the one if you're wanting the ones like Travis is talking about, those are on a sidekick that you will find in the book department with the books, where they have like all the books. And then I know like at least in my store that's where they have them, where I would normally go to. And then they also have some where they have like the baseball cards and everything up by the front registers as well. They had some of like some of the other comic books up there. But Snake Eyes, Dead Game, issue number 3. I'm liking this series. It's pretty decent. I don't really know a whole lot, but I think this one's what, 5 issues. Rob Liefeld doing a pretty good job in this one. Digging the art, you know. I know the pouches, those feetses, right? Yeah, I can let him slide on that. I can let him slide on that. Got a few others I'm going to talk about here before we get into some of the others. Guys, this one right here, Kaiju Score, issue number 1 on Aftershock Comics. This book is pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. I'm not really into like the whole kaiju thing, the whole monsters and everything. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's just nothing I ever go out of my way to read. I was interested in this for 1 because it's an Aftershock book. 2, you know, I was interested in it because it's also being opted. So it's already optioned to be a movie from Sony. So I was like, all right, well, let's see how this is going to be. Let's see how this is going to be. And if you're one of those spectators or one of those speculators out there, you might want to pick it up. You might. I don't know. I'm just saying. But it's already been optioned for a movie. Kaiju Score is a heist. It's not really necessarily about kaiju. It's more of a heist story. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to go on this heist to get these this rare art out of a safe. But they are doing that under the distraction with these kaiju, because it's kaiju season in Florida. And this book opens up and it does everything that Aftershock Comics does in their books to bring you their unique tales. That's good. I thought it was pretty good. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, but you can tell the setup is very heist-like. It's very reminiscent of like you know, of Ocean's 11. You know, it's very reminiscent of that, where you see like all the kind of, you know, like, you know, you can hear the, like the little bongos going on and the little maracas shaking as everything's kind of, you know, the crew's being assembled. A lot of cool stuff going on. I like this book, and it was funny. Like some of these characters, I could see actors in some of these roles already. Like I already have people casted in this stuff anyway. I don't know. I thought Kaiju Score was a pretty good book though. Bam! Oh man, look at you. See that beautiful cover? Look at that. Bam! Love it. Yeah. Ileana, right? Yeah, I like magic. I like magic. I don't know, she's growing on me. But 10 of Swords ended this week. I gotta say, it wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It has its highs. It certainly has its lows. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Altogether, I thought this little crossover event, it wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was okay. It was okay. You know, but as I've said here lately, is Marvel and DC are no longer going to be occupying my pull list. You can still look forward to seeing reviews on a lot of the books here on the channel, like through the Dawn of X, and all of these different books are getting ready to lead into the Reign of X. We'll be going through all that. Most of these I'll probably get in the collected in the trade paperbacks. A lot of that is like, for one, I want to, you know, I want to save some money on some of these books, because like some of these books, I mean they're good, but they cost a lot, and I'm not a collector. I'm a reader, and I collect through way of reading. But I'm gonna wait for trade paperbacks on some of these and get and read them that way. And that's what I'll do for most of those. On those things, and then some of the other books as well. I'll probably just start collecting. I'll probably start collecting trades instead of the individual issues. Is what I'm gonna start doing. Shang-Chi issue number 3. Not a bad series. It's only 5 issues. This is issue number 3. Shang-Chi out there fighting against the forces of evil. It's an okay book. It's an okay book. I think what kind of takes me out of it is the fact of like, it's actually a pretty good book, but it's only 5 issues. Right? Why pick up the 5 issues? Just buy the trade paperback. Or better yet, just release the trade paperback Are the sales that high on Shang-Chi? Are they? I don't know. I'm just thinking from my standpoint. A mini-series? A mini-series, 5-issue mini-series? Why don't they just do the trade on it? Why do the individual issues? And I know, because the collectors, collectors want those 5 individual issues. Sure, that's fine. That's fair. That's fair. Because the collectors are really who keeps the comic book industry alive and afloat, right? Yeah. Anyway, DC. Dark Knight's Death Metal, The Multiverse Who Laughs. A collection of different stories, all just kind of expanding the world of the Dark Knight's Death Metal universe. Definitely not a must-read. Definitely not a must-read if you're reading all of the things in here. I've been getting all of them, except for I haven't got the Justice League tie-ins, but if you're collecting all of them, you're probably going to read this one. Again, you know, they push like the price $5.99. A little bit high on that price. A little bit high on that price. With that, Access Blockbusters, thank you so much for subscribing. And let me know what you think about this video. You know, leave a comment down there. I'd appreciate it. Whether you're here on this live stream or maybe you're watching a video. Who knows? But let's see. But the Multiverse Who Laughs, it was decent, you know, couple different little stories. One that I wouldn't say is a critical read, like nothing you need to get into it. Now the thing is like the first story in this one, we see the Robin King in there, the Robin King. He's there and he's telling the story, and it's like it's very on the nose. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because they're getting ready to go into DC Future State and for a couple of months after in the new year and stuff, and like. A lot of this like story, it's like very on the nose, you know, kind of like, gee, like, why don't you just spell it out for us? and I guess that's something they kind of got to do, though. That's really what I mean, and I think that's really what they should do, though. If that's, you know, you're gonna be changing things and I guess you should do that. But I wouldn't say that this is one that is an absolute must or read for those things. So before I get into the last of these comic books, guys, I'm telling you, you're going to want to stick around for this. Let's get into see what you guys are saying here before we get into these last ones. Let's see. Yeah, happy Friday to you too, Landon. Mike Porter says, I'm a lover of the original trilogy. Saw the first movie when I was in middle school, and I love The Mandalorian. But I can't understand. I can understand if it's not for you. Then it's not your thing. See, we can get along. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. That's okay. I don't expect you to like something that I like. Just because I like it doesn't mean that you have to like it. Because believe me, I'll tell you. Perfect example. Daredevil. Yeah, that Ben Affleck Daredevil. I like the movie. Now, I like the movie. I'm not going to try to convince you that it's a good movie. I didn't say it was a good movie. I said I like the movie. It's got some stuff I like in it. It's enjoyable. I'm not saying it's good. Right? I'm just saying that I like it. I can't argue that it's a good movie. I can just argue that it's enjoyable for me to watch. But yeah, absolutely. Wolf Warner says Assassins and Son. Wolf approved. Assassins and Son. I must have missed that one. Yeah, nice. Love your reviews. The plot is Wolf Warner. Yeah, the plot is highly underrated. And here's the thing: is like I know like Chris from Chaos and Comics, he's not really into. He's like, I don't really see it. The thing is like the kind of horror that is, it's not a blood, guts, and gore kind of horror. It's just like the situation and everything that's going on is horror-ish. You know, like the whole thing with like the family curse and stuff like that. It's that whole horror vibe. It's not necessarily like all blood and guts and gore. So I get that somebody that wants that might not like it. I get that. And that's probably one of the things that he wants. Because like then I look at a movie like a series like Mountainhead, which issue number 5 should finally be coming out. I think not next week, but the week after. Is like it's got all that gory stuff and the horror and just like it's great. I love it. Yes. Can never find any comics at my Walmart. Yeah. Okay. Chillmonger says Happy Ahsoka Tano Day. Yeah, all right, man. Hell yeah, Chillmonger. Yeah. Wookiees. Oh man. Wolfhorn says Ten of Swords was a bumpy ride, but they finished up strong enough. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, it was a bumpy ride, and I think they finished up strong enough. Absolutely. Yeah. The bumpy ride could be super important if future books expand on it all. The opposite can happen too if Reign of X ignore it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I could agree with that. Chillmonger, absolutely. When are you gonna do your review? Yeah, right. You're allowed to. You're allowed to like bad movies and characters people like. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Might go live Saturday. All right, good deal, Chill. Yeah, make sure guys go subscribe to Chillmonger, man. Go subscribe to Chillmonger. Be ready for his review coming on Saturday. Now, since we're talking about this, the one thing is, as I'm getting into the last of these comic books that I want to talk about here, I want to get into this really quick in the fact that, Hero, just like even right now, I'm telling you how I'm not really going to be doing reading Marvel and DC books any or have them on my pull list. Just because like I'm more into indies. I like the stories more. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to be pulling more indies, since I'm going more that direction anyway, and buying just some of the trades that I want to there. Probably going to get some past trades and things like that. But some of that comes with like just the quality in the storytelling and some of the things like that. Now, I can't really say that it's the art. The art in the Marvel books for the most part is not bad. The storytelling isn't bad. It's just that it's not exciting. I don't feel engaged. I get done reading a book and I'm like, yeah, all right. Yeah, I read it. It was a story, you know, cool. And sometimes going back later after the fact, it's funner that way anyway. Sometimes reading the full trade is better that way anyway. You get the full trade, uninterrupted, no ads, things like that, right? Hey, I know, right? But some of it is in the quality, I feel, in the storytelling and the things that are going on with these characters is what it is. And sometimes, people think like, like they need to do new things with these characters and new stories and stuff like that. And like, yeah, they kind of got to do something new, something to make it fresh again. Because I mean, like, how many years has Spider-Man been around? What new tales are there? Are there untold tales of Spider-Man? Things like that. So you got to think of different things, and this is one of the reasons why when we see everything, these characters when they, like what they're doing with Future State and all that kinds of stuff over at DC is like the race swaps and all those kinds of things for these characters is why I think I truly feel like this is the argument. Like I feel that a lot of people are missing when it comes to this stuff is like just give us the new characters because I so want new characters where you can tell new stories with, as opposed to doing something with Batman or Superman or Captain America or Spider-Man that you don't need to do. You can do that with the new character. Let them do something new. Give them a new story. You can do that with the new character. And that's why I like indies. Is these people, these writers, these creators are doing that. We see more and more people out there, more and more publishers coming up with these shared universes. That's kind of what a lot of the publishers do when it comes to like some of their superheroes or whatever genre of books they're doing. Like over at Vault Comics, they have their Nightfall line where they have these horror comic books, and you can see where they're kind of not in necessarily a shared universe, but sort of, because in plot issue number 7, we've got an Easter egg, if you will, of the Autumnal in there. We've seen that. All of a sudden, I forgot her name. I want to say it was Caitlin, but it's not Caitlin. But Mackenzie in the plot, she's wearing a shirt that says "Comfort Notch." Comfort Notch is the little town in the Autumnal. So there's all these little things, kind of got a little shared universe right there, right? A little bit. You see Valiant. That's what they do. They got this shared universe. Look at Dynamite. They've got this little shared universe they're doing with like the Sacred Six and all that stuff. They've got the Deja Thors. They've got the little shared universe. Everybody kind of does this with their books. Not all of them, but some of them do. And it's great. Look at AWA Upshot and what they are doing right now. with like Year Zero, The Resistance, and all of these post-apocalyptic tales that are kind of taking place in this same shared universe, right? It just makes sense. And that's the thing I like about it with these indies. We got new creators telling new stories, and maybe not new creators. That's the great thing about it, and that's why where people are talking about this bloodbath that's going on at DC and Marvel, and like bringing it, firing all this talent and bringing in new stuff. Oh my God, the SJWs are coming for our comic books. The thing that I'm saying is I like that because I think we do need new blood in there. I think that a lot of those older creators, a lot of those older writers, you know what, do go the indie route and start doing new stories, new characters and things like that. Just like we see a lot of the new people coming in creating their own characters, the newer creators, some of the creators that I like, right? Like the Michael Morisi out there, who does the plot. He is also doing Wasted Space. He does a lot of these Star Wars adventures that they do on is it IDW? They do those through IDW. He also does I already said Wasted Space, but he also does he did Maul as well with Tim Doberman on Vault Comics. He does a lot of great books. He's doing Hexagon. Like Hexagon issue number 5 finally came out on Impact Theory. I just read that this week as well. He's a writer I like. I would love to see him come in and write, bring him in. You get like another one of my favorite writers. I just read issue number 6 of issue number 7 of Resonance, written by DB Andry, one that he's writing over on Vault Comics. Get some of these writers who are doing these things, bring them in, let them tell some of these tales with some of these the Marvels and the DCs. Who knows? Maybe they don't want to, because some of these people, that's what it is. Like, that used to be the dream, but some of these people just want to tell their own stories. But that's what I say. I'm all for it. Let it happen. It's okay. Let some of these other creators fill all. There's so much space out there to be filled, right? You got crowdfunded comic books. Look at some of the success that a lot of people are having with crowdfunded comic books. The thing is, you're getting these people creating these shared universes and these shared worlds. Marvel and DC, sure, they've got all the classic capes and cowls that we love and know from our childhood. Absolutely. But there's so much more going on out there with indies. And one of my favorite that I have absolutely been through the roof this year to discover is Absolute Comics Group. They this week released a handful of their number 2s, but a while back they started White Widow. This was one of their first series they did on the Absolute Comics Group. One of their first superhero characters they did. It's White Widow. It's Gabby Garcia. She's got this like nanobot suit that she got injected to her from her parents. Were working on this stuff. She had a debilitating illness. Her parents were always monitoring it and trying to figure something out to heal her. Well, eventually, they were working for this corporation, and the corporation, their daughter got sick. Again, they had to do what they could to save her life. This corporation, some stuff was going down with this corporation and her parents at the same time, and they did what they could to save her life. White Widow. This is a great book. This was the first one that really started off this expanded universe they have. Absolute Comics Group is starting this line. White Widow issue number 5 just came out this week. Love this series. Very good stuff. But they've got another one that just came out. Wayward Sons and Wayward Legends. Okay, these books right here are intertwined. Wayward Legends tells the story of this alien race of people. They look like humans, who were, not every character in here that we meet is. We'll talk about that in some of the reviews. But this one right here, we see like one of the guys, Kronos, was he used to be the leader of this army, if you will, and he eventually traded sides, and they were seeking out more power. So you know how it is. Well, he ended up getting imprisoned, and they were going to send him and all his crew and all the people that betrayed all their people, all the traitors, they were going to send him to this prison planet of Tartarus, this prison universe of Tartarus. And well, one thing led to another. They ended up going through this portal that they all crash landed on Earth. And when they crash landed on Earth, they all pretty much became superhuman. They got these powers from coming into this explosion with this engine that was, you kind of get it, right? So that's what the Wayward Legends is. This was really like the start, and this was really like the start of the Absolute Comics universe, where White Widow is deeper in the lore and the issues. This is really what started it all, and they are expanding on this now. Wayward Sons is the next generation of the Wayward Legends, where their kids are now in modern times who have powers, and they are out there being discovered, and they have to come together to stop some of these evil forces, some of the evil forces of Kronos, and maybe their sons. Very good stuff here going on in this world that expands this world of White Widow the way Wayward Sons does. Now, these other ones right here that I want to talk about right here. I Make Boys Cry, the IMBC. This one expands. This one, issue number 1, crosses over into the White Widow universe in this issue, because in issue number 5, we see what happens. You got to read White Widow issue number 5 to see what happens. She comes in this to this school, gets in this altercation with the students at this school, and they are at the IMBC. And that's what this book is about. This crosses over and jumps off of White Widow. I thought this book was good too. The art in here is very good. Now this cover right here, I mean, that cover, it looks like a photo. It's not. At least not that I know of. But it crosses over, and then we've got these ones right here. Dual Identity. Another one right here. This one right here actually crosses over into White Widow as well. Issue number 1 actually crossed over into White Widow. This character was actually in White Widow issue number 3 and issue number 4. This character called what is her name? Artemis and Andromeda. Artemis and Andromeda, I think. She has this dual identity, but she actually works for this place called The Group. And that's what we see here. We're learning about her and her character in here, where she is like a superhero working for this shadow organization. Dual identity, again, in this shared universe of White Widow, where she is basically, up to this point, an enemy of White Widow. And we see White Widow is teaming up with the IMBC in that series. And then we've got Darkon. Darkon Black is a lot like, he's a paranormal investigator. He is a wizard. He's a lot like Doctor Strange, and he's been around for a long time. And here we see he's going to investigate these suicides at this college. And so he's going to do that, but he's also looking to be an actor. We see he's going to Hollywood and meeting with this Hollywood producer that wants to take Darkon Black and make him the next big name. Forget the Avengers. Forget the Supermans. Darkon Black is where it's at. And that's what they want to do. But we see here, he's getting ready to get into it. And issue number 3 of Darkon actually crosses over into White Widow, issue number 6. They are hurrying along and building this universe here. And Darkon, again, very, very good issue. And I'm telling you guys, the art they've got in these books is good stuff. Great art. The stories are very good. Now, the one thing you might notice, aside from Darkon, a lot of them are, and the Wayward Legends and Wayward Sons, a lot of them are female-centric. White Widow is a female character. Oh my god. The I Make Boys Cry is a school of female, I guess you could say they're being trained to be assassins in a way. Oh my god. But it's all good. Like, none of it's like, it's all just done in this right way where they're telling these stories. I love it. I'm telling you. And you know, we all know, right? Because feminism, right? You know, so it's gotta be feminism. It's gotta, no, it's not like that. It's very good stuff. Very good stuff. Then I'm not sure, I haven't seen any crossovers in this one yet, but we got First Defense, issue number 2 as well. What's going on in this series is all of the president's kids, their firstborn kids, become heroes. They are imbued with superpowers, and they go out and they fight the forces of evil. and we can see that some of them were in like a cryostasis and things like that. We see like Abraham Lincoln's kids. We getting just different kids from different presidents all coming together to form like the super team where they're going to go out and fight some forces of evil. Now, First Defense is a series that has been around for a while, from what I've noticed when reading about it. And then the last one. Now there was one called Amped. I haven't read issue number 1, and I haven't read issue number 2. They didn't come in at my LCS. I'm going to have them try to get those in so I can read those. But again, that's another one that expands the world of the Absolute Comics group that's going to be crossing over and tying in as well. Now, the other one and last one they have here is Katrina. This one is interesting too, and I actually like this one. And remember, I said I'm not really into the vampires and all that stuff. This book revolves around vampires. It takes place in New Orleans and around the time of Hurricane Katrina. I think this book is good too. It's a pretty good like vampire horror book. Again, Katrina, Absolute Comics Group doing a good job. Starting with all of these new titles. I'm really enjoying this one. Now, the thing is I would speak a little bit more about these, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this video showcasing and highlighting all of these. I've kind of been putting it off, but I really need to, especially now, because I was getting ready to reach out to the creators, Benny Powell, because not too long ago, they sent me all of the issue number 1s, except for Amped, on digital copies of all of them, so I could read them and review them. They didn't have to do that. They reached out to me. They reached out to me and sent me these copies. And I mean, for that, since I liked them also, I put them all on my pull list. I've got them, and I'm going to have them on my pull list. And that's the thing, is they didn't have to do that. I'm just some asshole on YouTube talking about comic books, right? And they reached out to me and sent me these copies to read. And you know, I was realizing yesterday, I was sitting down, getting ready to write them a letter on Facebook. I was getting ready to message them on Facebook. I'm like, hey man, I just want to say thank you. Like, I'm really enjoying these books. I just got these issue number 2s in and stuff like that. And like, hey man, like, hey, thank you. At a time, especially in a year like 2020, when I'm losing faith in some of my Marvel and DC books, these guys reached out to me and sent me these books. They didn't have to. I'm just some, like I said, I'm just some asshole on YouTube who did a video about a couple of their books. And they were really fucking cool about it too. Because in one of the videos I was laughing like, oh, just kind of like pointing out some comparisons between like Gabby and, you know, Peter Parker and stuff like that. They were really fucking cool about it. And they sent these out to me. And you know what? Like, I owe these guys a huge fucking thank you. Because at a time, and in a year, like 2020 has been, right? Everything combined. Like yesterday, I'm telling you, I was getting ready to message him, like, you know what? This is going to be in the video. But I'm thankful that these guys reached out to me and shared these books with me. Because I found some place where I can go and read some more superhero books. Some new superheroes, some new tales. And sure, some of them might be, you know, how would you say, maybe not completely derivative, but they kind of play on some of that stuff that we see out there in some of these other books. But that's okay, because they're still telling their own story. And I like that. They didn't have to do that. I'm glad that they did, because these books got me. I'm really enjoying them. The money that I'm not going to be spending at Marvel and DC, it's going to be going to the Absolute Comics Group. It's going to be going to publishers like Vault Comics. It's going to be going to publishers like Aftershock Comics and Boom Studios, the indies that I've really been loving over these past couple of years, as well as crowdfunding comics. And if you become a channel member, that's kind of what your money is going towards, is crowdfunding comics. When I find some of these, you know, when we reach 20, we're going to do one a month. We're not at 20 yet. Last I checked, we're at 15. But that's what we're doing there. So we're going to do one about every other month. And that's what I've been enjoying. And really, go out to your local comic book shop. Ask for these Absolute comics. Get them. You're not going to find them on Comixology. you might be able to find them. You can probably find the digital copies. I'm sure you can buy them from the guys. They've got a website. I think it's absolutecomicsgroup.net, I believe. But go check them out. You know, huge shout out to Benny Powell, Jamie Tyndall, the creators of White Widow, and really the guys who are kind of, and I think it's Benny Powell really who is kind of the mastermind here behind the Absolute Comics Group and a lot of the stuff that they're doing, because he seems to be a writer of a lot of them. He does the letters on most of the books, as well as some of the stories and things like that. So huge shout out to those guys. I will be doing a video on these books though, but they've got some just great books. Loving the art in these books, loving the stories in these books, at a time when I needed it. So yes, okay. Mike Porter says, have to you a story. My niece saw me yesterday at Thanksgiving with my red shirt, weight and beard. I gave her the Tim Allen Santa Claus vibe. I told her I swear I lost the weight and shaved. Oh, yeah, that's funny. Nice. This morning, okay. That's funny. XR says you didn't finish the last word. Has the Rebels epilogue happened yet? Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure about all that. Jimmy Vasquez, what's up, my man? How are you doing? Two Gun Pedro, yeah, that White Widow, man, lovely, love it, man. That's such a great book. Yeah, Pedro. At this point, it's going to be like kind of a highlight showcase thing. It's probably going to be a long video, which is okay if you ask me. Mike Porter says, you're the leader of independent comics. I try, man. I do my best, man. But, I mean, there's a lot of great comic creators out there who are certainly more invested in a lot of these books than I am. They get stacks. Like this stack I have, they have like double that every week. Like Wolf Warner here in the chat. He's one of them dudes, man. He gets stacks of comic books. And that's great, man. That's great. Like I said, I'm really enjoying the indies a lot more than like the Marvels and the DCs. And that's not to say that I hate them. They've got great stuff. You can see the posters. I've got love for Marvel and DC. I'm not going to come here and say F Marvel, F DC. FDC? Yeah, anyway. I'm not going to say those things. I would just like to see some improvement in the quality of what I'm getting for my money from Marvel and DC. And that's why I'm pulling back for now. I'm not doing it. We're going after those indies. We're going to talk about them. We're going to love them. It's going to be great. Yeah. Two Gun Pedro says, I like most of the Absolute comic books. Absolutely. I think all of the ones I've read, I really do enjoy. They've even got one called the Flip Book, I think, that was, I read that one. I didn't get it in my pool, though. Yeah. Mike Porter says 2020 is one of the worst years ever in the history of the world. If some of us give up, I understand to a point. But us nerds have really shined through this whole thing. In history, the human spirit is what is important. And the nerds this year is showing that spirit. That's right, damn it. We're conquering the world. If it wasn't for us nerds, you know what you would be at home doing? You'd be miserable. Chillmonger says Marvel and DC are on timeout. You know what? And that you know what? Honestly, Chillmonger, let me know. Like, do you think that's a good thing? Like, honestly, I think it's a good thing. You know, we see, you know, some of the naysayers out there that are talking about, you know, DC Comics is going to stop printing comic books. Marvel's following suit. They're gonna start laying off all kinds of people anyway. And to which I say, good. I mean, I don't want to see people get fired. I don't think it's good that people lose their jobs. But I'm ready to see some of these companies move forward, bring in some fresh talent, do something, try something new. It's okay. When the losing team, right, in the league usually gets that first pick, right? What do they pick? Quarterback usually? If there's a good quarterback, maybe you get that wide receiver, maybe you get that running back because you need a good running game. Maybe you get Brian Urlacher. Point being is you're going to have to go through a rebuilding phase. I think that's where Marvel and DC are at. They're definitely in a rebuilding phase. And they need to start doing something to start getting some wins. There's plenty of other people out there, other creators out there who are chalking them up. One victory at a time. One book at a time. One story at a time. That's all it takes. I can see that in what's going on at the Absolute Comics Group. I can see that in what's going on at Vault Comics. I can see that in what's going on at AWA, Upshot. I can see that in what's going on at Aftershock Comics. I can see that going on at Boom Studios Comics. IDW is fighting. Slowly but surely, they're getting some. They just got Scarant Hood. It's a decent issue. Slowly but surely. I mean, these. I'm telling you, these independent companies are doing it one book at a time. They're doing it the way it's supposed to be done. They're doing it the way that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are doing it over there on The Mandalorian. Except for if you ask Wookie. Wookie don't agree, but that's okay. You don't have to. But doing it one story at a time, one episode at a time, one issue at a time. That's what it takes. Loving it. Loving it. Let's see. Yes, we are. Yeah. Yes. Reward good things. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mark Hamilton says, just woke up after the Ahsoka binge. The leaks were 100%. Yeah, they were. They were, Mark Hamilton. They were 100% correct. And man, what did you think about that? Wasn't it great? Like, dude, like, I'm not even into all that Dave Filoni universe stuff. Like, and I seen it, I'm like, ooh, Grogu. Grogu. Yeah, man. Felt like day one of the live action Filoniverse. It did. I mean, I still have some nitpicks about stuff, but I loved it. I thought it was good. I liked it. Chomong says, "Who's the now who's the source? Eliminate that weasel." Oh yeah, yeah, right. Like it or not, I like the Filoniverse is real. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I thought it was good. I'm liking it, man. I'm telling you, things are looking up, right? Things are looking up out there for our nerd content, right? We're getting our WandaVisions, Black Widow's coming soon enough, Wonder Woman coming to streaming. Man, a lot of good stuff going on, guys. A lot of good stuff. Grogu is now my middle name. Okay, Mike Grogu Porter. Gotcha. I gotta call him Baby Grogu to let the new name sink in. You don't have to call him, but he's not a baby. Oh man, he's not a baby. Mike Grogu Porter, MGP. All right, Mike Grogu Porter. Gotcha. Hell yeah, I'm down with it. But anyway, guys, that's all I've got for today. Thank you all so much for tuning in here to the Second Street Marvel and watching me flap my guns about these comic books. About the Mandalorian a little bit. I tried to keep it as spoiler free as possible. Listen, I mean, really, was that a spoiler? His name? Was Ahsoka a spoiler? I mean, come on. We all know. And again, if I spoiled it for you, I'm sorry. I apologize. But I don't think there was really anything to spoil. Like, was there? Like, yeah, I don't know. But thank you all so much for being here today. I do greatly appreciate it. Go out and read some awesome comic books. Go out and watch The Mandalorian. Or, you know, if go out and find something that you enjoy. Enjoy it to its fullest. But you all have a very good day, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.